Hey guys, it's Homer Star Fan 13 here, and Happy New Year! Yep, we finally got through 2022, and now it's time for 2023. So I thought, what better way to start this year off than to do an unscripted ramble on the games I'm most looking forward to this year, most anticipated games of the year. So I just thought it would be fun to sort of look at the future and see what's coming up, and also gives me a chance to test out my new headset that I got for Christmas. So, you know, this is both a test video and a video I actually wanted to make. So let's just get right into it. So I guess I'll just say, like, there's going to be like 10 main games I'm going to talk about. There'll be a couple of extra games I'll mention like during certain sections. But it's mostly like the top 10 games I'm looking forward to. And I'm not going to mention any like rumoured stuff. Like I know there's like a rumoured Mario game that might be coming this year, but I'm only going for stuff that have been officially announced. And mostly games that we know are going to come out this year. There's like one that hasn't been announced yet, but I'm fairly certain it's going to come out this year. But yeah, mostly games that we know are going to come out this year. And I'm not going to do this in any order. It's mostly like the first few games are like release order, then it's just like a random order. But I will finish with the game I'm most anticipated for this year. So yeah, let's just get right into it. And we'll start off with what is easily one of the most anticipated games of this year for me. SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. Yes, I am not joking. I cannot wait for this game. I love Battle for Bikini Bottom on the PS2. And I've always wanted a sequel to that game, and now we're finally getting it. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the remake. I thought it had a couple of issues in it, like mostly with them having to remake like the original game and the way that played. But I think now that they're doing their own game, I think it'll be a hell of a lot better. And it seems really unique. Like I think they're going like different worlds. Like there's a cowboy world, a medieval world, like that one episode, and also I love the different costumes that SpongeBob gets to wear. Like one of the things they've shown is that they've got his Squidward costume from Opposite Day, which is just, I cannot wait to use that one because that's going to be so much fun. So yeah, definitely when I get the chance, gonna pre-order this game because I cannot wait. And it actually comes out at the end of the month, so yeah, not got that long to this one. So yeah, can't wait. Next up, we've got I don't know how you pronounce the name. It's Kizuna AI Touch the Beat. Now, I love rhythm games. There's just something about rhythm games I really like. And I really like the Hatsune Miku games. And I really like Kizuna AI. I love her music. So this is basically the perfect game for me. Just a rhythm game based on some music I really like. So there's not really much else to say. At first it looked like it was going to be a VR game. But like I think it's just got a VR mode to it. There actually is a regular sort of controller mode for it. So yeah. Love rhythm games, love that style of music, so yeah, perfect game for me. That's the second game. Alright, next up, I'm going to do these next two games together because they're both remakes that I maybe feel like didn't need to happen, and also I'm not as excited for these games as I am for other ones, but I still wanted to talk about them in the video because I have things I actually want to say. And the first one is the Kirby's Return to Dreamland remake, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. So yeah, I love Kirby Return to Dreamland, or Kirby Adventure Wheels it was called over here. Like it was part of my Advent Calendar series, and I really did like the game. I just don't feel like of all of like the Nintendo games, especially Wii games that could have benefited from a remake, this is one that really didn't need one. Like it would be nice to have it on Switch, and I probably will get it, but like it's not a straightaway buy for me. But I just feel like all the other Nintendo games that could have needed a remake, you know, like maybe like a Punch-Out or a Sin and Punishment, or maybe even like something like Super Paper Mario. Like these are games that would really benefit from a remake. Kirby really doesn't need to. Like, the Kirby franchise is still sort of going. I mean, we just had Forgotten Lands this year, and that's a great game. It just seems weird that they're now going straight into a remake of one of the older games. And from what I've seen, the way things they've updated don't look too much. Like they've added. All it seems that they've added is like more mini games and a new power-up, which look great, but it just doesn't feel like it's enough to justify a new remake, especially if it's going to be costing like $60 or whatever. If it's going to be full price. Like if it was like a little like downloadable game, then maybe it would be fine, but I don't know. Again, probably will get it, but it's definitely not a rush game for me, and I feel like they could have done better off with other remakes. Now, thinking of things I didn't think needed remakes, but has kind of justified itself, Resident Evil 4. Now, the reason I said I didn't think it needed a remake is because people still love the original Resident Evil 4. Like, and it's consistently been released on modern consoles, like you can get it on PS4, Switch, and all that, and people still love it, and people are still buying it. So I kind of felt like it didn't need a remake. Having said that, I did watch a gameplay trailer like just the other day, preparing for this video. And yeah, it does look good. It does feel like they actually have, like, it looks like a much better remake than the Kirby one does. It actually feels like, well, in this case, they actually have like rebuilt the game from the ground up. So it definitely looks good in that sense. So yeah, maybe it's deserving of a remake more than I thought it did. I will say I haven't actually played Resident Evil 4 yet. I have it on Switch, and I am meaning to go and play it at some point. So I don't know if I want to play that one first before I get the remake, or get the remake and just play that one. I'm not sure yet. I think I'll see when I get to it. Alright, next up, another game I haven't finished, a sequel to another game I haven't finished yet. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So yeah, I haven't finished the first game yet. I have enjoyed what I liked about it. I have enjoyed what I've played of it. So yeah, sequel does look good. It seems to be just the same thing but more. It seems like you can dual wield in that game now. Could you do that in the first game? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't gotten that far into it yet, so I don't know if you could dual wield in the first game or not. That's something they've added in, so that's a cool new added thing. But yeah, I'll probably wait until I finish the first game before I get this one. But still a game that looks good, and I will probably get it eventually. Alright, so this is the first instance of me talking about a bunch of games, but there's like one main one, and that's for the wrestling games, because this seems like it's going to be a good year for wrestling games. We could have maybe at least 4 like big games. So, well, first off, we've got this game called WrestleQuest, which is like a little wrestling RPG that looks quite fun. Like, it's actually got real guys in it, so it's got Randy Savage, Jake Roberts, and people like Jeff Jarrett. Never drew a dime. Sorry. So yeah, that looks like it'll be a fun indie game. We've got WWE 2K23, although we've not seen a single trailer for that yet. I'm guessing we're going to see a trailer at that in a few weeks at the Rumble. My one request for 2K23, WWE 2K23, stop adding characters to my faction, or at the very least, put them in exhibition mode, because the amount of exclusive characters they put in the My Faction mode, which, by the way, is the only mode that requires microtransactions, by the way, it's the only microtransactions filled mode, is ridiculous, and I really, really hope they don't do that anymore. They will, because I think it's still making the money, but that's my one hope for 2K23. And there's also the wrestling code, but I don't know if that one's coming out this year, because it's been in development for quite a while, and I've been following the development quite closely, but so I think we might see like the first release this year, but I'm not 100% sure. But no, the wrestling game I'm excited for the most is, of course, AEW Fight Forever. Yeah, because it's AEW's first game, so I'm really, really curious to see how it's going to be. And like, obviously we've got characters in it who haven't been in any of the other games, like, Adam Page, MJF, Kenny Omega, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin. Like that's just a couple of characters I'm looking forward to playing as. Like, Hikaru Shida, I'm excited to play as her. So, oh yeah, it's got intergender wrestling. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's got intergender wrestling in it, which will be really cool. And like, so because it seems like it's going to be a lot more arcadey compared to the simulation style of WWE games. So I really hope that, like, because obviously we're going to compare the two of these games, and even I've been thinking about comparing them at some point. Like, I mean, even I've been thinking about doing a video where I compare the two of them. But I do hope we can live in a world where both these games can exist, where we're going to have the simulation style of WWE and the arcadey style of AEW. If we could have both those games exist, I think it would be really cool. The idea of having both a simulation and arcade styled game. So yeah, and also apparently from what I've heard, like, this is only going to be the one game. Like, they've said, I think there's Evil Uno, who's been like working a lot on the game. He said, like, it's only going to be the one game. They're just going to keep updating it. There's not going to be a yearly release. So that'll be interesting to see if they're not going to do the WWE model of releasing a new game every year, or a FIFA model of releasing a new game every year. So yeah, I'm super excited for it. I really hope it's good. We haven't seen a release date yet, so I don't. Maybe they'll release it near one of their big previews, like maybe like, I don't know, the week of All Out or something. They might release it. But yeah, still excited for it, and I can't wait to play it. Next up, so this is like one of the probably the lower ones on this list, but I still want to talk about it, is Crash Team Rumble. I'm a massive Crash Bandicoot fan. I love Crash Bandicoot, so I obviously would like to support the franchise, but I'm not a big fan of online games. So I don't know if it's going to be my kind of thing, and I don't really feel like giving Activision any money at the moment because of all the scandals they're going through and how they just seem to be getting worse. So I don't know if I really want to support Activision, but then I want to support the developers as well. So I think if I am going to get it, I'll wait until reviews come out, and then I might get it on a sale or something, you know, just to make sure I'm not paying full price for it. That's just sort of my sort of take on it. But I guess it looks okay. Like I said, it's Crash Bandicoot, and I love Crash, so I just want to support the franchise, you know? I just want to support the franchise. Alright, so this is another sort of like 2 games I want to talk about from the same sort of franchise, and that's the 2 Disney games that are coming out next year. First off is Disney Speedstorm. Now, if you remember last year, I did a video on the Nintendo Direct where this was announced, and I was very critical of it being free to play. And now I'm not as critical, and that's only because of Multiverses, which was that Warner Brothers styled Smash Brothers clone that came out last year. I really like that game. In fact, I think I would actually say it was probably my game of the year last year, but that might be because I didn't play many games. But that showed to me that free-to-play games can work. They don't have to be overly monetizable. Like, in Multiverses, all the characters can be bought with in-game currency that you can just get by playing the game. The only things you have to pay for are like costumes and stuff like that, you know, extra stuff that you would actually want to play for, but you actually want to buy. And with it being a free-to-play game, you know, it's a nice way of like supporting the developers by sort of buying those costumes. And I like that. That's good. And I think hopefully if Disney Speedstorm does that by making it sort of like only like costumes, and like if they make it so that you can just unlock the characters by playing the game, I'll be happy with that. And like make the tracks and that. As long as they don't make it, as long as they don't lock stuff behind paywalls, then I will be happy with this game, and I will really sort of enjoy it. I mean, I like the track designs; they look cool. They showed like I've seen the trailer, which has the like Pirates of the Caribbean track and a Monsters Inc. track. They really do look cool. I will say, don't like the cars. The cars do look a little generic. They're not unique for every character. Like, for example, just off the top of my head, I thought Jack Sparrow could easily have a car that looks like a pirate ship. That's just really simple, but they've all got like sort of generic sort of, what would you call them, like just sort of like generic race cars. Like, they look cool, but it's like it would be nice if every character had their own unique car, like a Mario Kart thing. You know, like how they're doing like things like Mario Kart and Sonic and All Stars stuff. But yeah, I still think it looks good, and I still really hope it's good. And the other Disney game that looks quite cool, but we really know nothing about it, is Disney Illusion Island. This was shown during that really bad Disney games like Direct. It was really bad because they barely showed anything, but this was like one of the only games they showed that actually looked good. And I say it looks good because it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Rayman Legends game, of Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins. They've got the 2D platforming style, and I love Rayman Legends. In fact, I just recently like put it on my top 10 favorite games of all time because it's that good. I just hope that but like I said, we've only really seen the one trailer, so I think I need to see more of it before I like decide that it's definitely a game I'm going to get. Well, next up we've got a sequel to one of my favorite games of, I think, 3 years ago now actually, yeah, 2020, the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yep, I loved Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's actually one of my favorite games of all time, so I knew I was going to get a new one when it came out. And yeah, like we don't know much about this one either. They've just shown us a trailer, but as long as it's just as good as the first one, then I'll be happy with it. I mean, and honestly, I'm really interested in the story. Like, I can understand why people are a bit mad about it because of it. Basically, I don't want to give too much away, but basically, like, the whole thing is that instead of it being a remake of Final Fantasy VII, it's more of a retelling of Final Fantasy VII, where they kind of like know they're in a remake, so the story actually changes because they're remaking the story. I think is how it's said. Like, things are different. Things in the remake happened that didn't happen in the original game, and I quite like that idea. I think that's quite clever, and I can understand why people were a bit mad about it, but I think it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to sort of do that in the next game. And yeah, like the trailer looks good, the story looks good, and yeah, it'll probably be one of my games I'm going to hopefully pre-order when it comes nearer to it. And two more Final Fantasy VII games that were announced. There's a Theatre Rhythm, which is like the Final Fantasy rhythm game. I used to play the demo of it on my 3DS all the time, but I never actually bought it, so I'm excited to finally hopefully get this new one and actually finally have the full game. And then there's also the next Final Fantasy game, which I think is Final Fantasy 16, 17. I don't know. I'm not good with Roman numerals. I just, I've never played one of them. I've never played a mainline game, but I love FF7 Remake, so maybe I'll go and play the new game in the series. Yeah, and then maybe I'll end up liking it. Okay, here's the one which I said is technically a cheating one, because next up the game I want to talk about is Tekken 8. Now the reason why I say it's cheating because they haven't announced a release date yet. However, I'm almost certain it's going to come out this year, like probably the end of the year or something. So talking about it now and if it doesn't come out, then we can talk about it next year. But yeah, I really liked Tekken 7, so I'm excited to see the next game in the series. Like, I think it's the best sort of fighting game at the moment. And also, trailer reveals that King's going to be in it, and I'm happy about that because King is my favourite character. I really hope that they maybe also reveal Lily as well, because she's my other favourite character. Like, as long as those two are in it, then I'm happy. And I will say, I didn't really like the story mode of Tekken 7 that much, so hopefully the story of Tekken 8 is a bit better. I guess I should also mention Street Fighter 6, because, yeah, I will probably get Street Fighter 6 as well. I just like Tekken more, so I'm more interested in Tekken. And I'm not a big fan of open world games, and it feels like they're going to be doing an open world thing. So that's a little bit worrying for me. It definitely looks cool, and it's definitely a new direction to take the Street Fighter series in. But I do maybe just not as invested in it as much as like the other games. Also, that box art looks awful. Have you seen the Street Fighter 6 box art? It is terrible. I really hope they change that, because it looks so bad. So bad. I guess I'll just briefly mention NetherRealm Studios, because, the Mortal Kombat guys, because I'm pretty sure they're going to announce whatever they've been working on this year, and it'll probably come out next year. I just don't know what it's going to be. It could be Mortal Kombat, could be Injustice. I really hope it's that Marvel game that they've been talking about for ages. Like, there've been so many rumors of them working on a Marvel game. I just really, really hope that that's true and that they announce it, because a Marvel fighting game based on like Mortal Kombat would be great. Because actually, Mortal Kombat actually is my favorite fighting game at the moment. It's the style of game that I like the most out of all the fighting games. But anyways, we mentioned Marvel, and let's go on to the last game on the list, the one that is my most anticipated game of the year, and that is the sequel to the PS4 Spider-Man game. That is, again, one of my favourite games of all time. I cannot wait for this. Like, it's my favourite PS4 game by a wide margin. So, and I also really liked Miles Morales as well. It was like a nice little teaser of what we could get in this game, because it seems like Miles will be playable in that game, so it'll be nice to have two different Spider-Man to play as. And it seems like they're going to give Spider-Man some more stuff. Like in the trailer, he had the sort of like Iron Spider tentacles on him. So there'll be like different gameplay to do with it. Again, we don't really know much about it yet, because they've only shown one trailer for it, but the trailer has shown that Kraven the Hunter and Venom are going to be the villains. And I'm super excited to see Venom, because Venom is my favourite Spider-Man villain easily, so it'll be really cool to see how that game does the Venom storyline, because it feels like we haven't seen a good Venom storyline in like media since Spectacular Spider-Man. Hopefully the MCU can also do a good Venom storyline, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure we'll probably see the first bit of gameplay during Sony's first State of Play, which will probably happen like maybe this month or next month, and that'll probably be their big deal. I mean, when I was looking up the trailer, I saw that apparently the gameplay might have been leaked for this game. I didn't look at it because I didn't want to be spoiled for it, but yeah, it does seem like they might have leaked it, so maybe that could suggest that a trailer for the game will be coming soon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the games I want to talk about. Obviously, there's a couple of other games that I could mention, but they're just all the main ones that I'm actually really interested in and are hopefully going to play this year. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully another video will be coming out early this month. Hopefully a Rumble season. I'll give a Royal Rumble season, because I'm going to hopefully do another wrestling video about the Royal Rumble. I won't give away any of the spoilers, but I'll just say that it's going to come up around that time. And then hopefully next month I'm going to do my very first Let's Play. Because I finally decided I really enjoyed doing the Advent Calendar videos, and I want to do more video recording, live recording, gameplay stuff. So I want to do some Let's Plays. I'm going to do it in February because I'm getting a new laptop for my birthday, so I want to kind of wait until, you know, I've got my laptop and got that all sorted out before I start doing some like proper video editing on it. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you, in the next video. Bye everyone.